All right. Next.
I believe that we should open, but we need actual policy changes.
Are you
And
middle ground?
so yeah, I'm in the middle ground because I feel like currently the president of the United States and our local and state leaders don't really no. Let me backtrack. He's thinking that the state should be the ones to implement policies for their states, and that's true. But our leader in federal world, the White House, should have really smart people already talking about, okay, if we open up, this is how we're going to be going throughout the community. Okay, restaurant workers wearing masks, check. If we're going into Walmart, we can open up, do what we need to do, but maybe people should wear masks. So, like, just to say, for the people that are, a little bit more skittish, they don't have to worry about people, quote unquote, spitting on them, breathing on them, all these random stuff that people like to say with COVID-19. So it's mainly, I think it's just if we open up fully, just it's a mass issue. We're 25% right now. We're 25% of the world's deaths in the United States right now. So we need to make sure we're doing marches, protests. People are pissed off about cops, folks, and got iPhones to catch it. So we're stuck in the house. We're watching news 24/7. Doesn't matter what you're watching. I'm not really a big fan of CNN or Fox 6 News just because of what I study. Academics is supposed to go to the more scientific research stuff, but when I do watch more liberal stuff, it typically is CNN, and I turn to Fox 6 News just to laugh at the opposite of what CNN says. But me in general, I truly believe that it goes to just wearing masks and just and we need to social distancing is it's going to be a person to person thing. Like if you meet a person and they're like, hey, could you just stay maybe just a little bit back until we find out what's going to happen? Like because there's some people that they don't generally just they don't care. And they're generally the younger folks where they're like, I'll wear my mask, but I'm going to probably hug my best friend. But then there's those other people where, hey, I got older people in my family who have these issues, their health issues, and they don't want to die pretty much. So I think we need to find an in between where we have policy that reformation that actually helps us as we move throughout our community. We got to open up, or we're just going to have a recession. We all know that. But if we do open up, our leaders need, unless we need to make them do something. We need something that makes us feel comfortable opening up. We already have gyms opening up. We have bars, all this stuff. Restaurants are starting to make more outside patios. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Karen, do you want to weigh in, and then I'll take the opposite side of what everybody else says.
So I'm thinking that if I have to be one side or the other, it would have to be no. I'm the oldest one here on this call, so I'm in that demographic.
You'll have. I'm sorry. You'll have to clarify first. No on what? No on up. No on down.
No, open up.
Oh, don't. So down. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I have to pick, I'm probably more in the middle. But my problems are this pandemic is every 100 years. It's too bad that we fall in this 100 years, but I think Americans especially are spoiled and instant gratification and okay, we've done it for 2 months, so it must be fine. And we're seeing Lincoln, in fact, my town, little town here, is the most in Placer County, and I'm in a very red district, so a lot of anti-vaxxers, a lot of no maskers, and so I would rather err on the side of safety than open everything up and overwhelm the hospitals, overwhelm the hospital workers, overwhelm the essential workers. So I went and got my hair cut today for the first time since March.
That's why I'm wearing a hat. I haven't gotten a haircut yet. It's just
so I did. It was like human touch. I live by myself, so it's like oh my gosh, somebody's touching me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really odd. And I won't eat in a restaurant now. I do take out food, but I just really think I got a few more good years left in me, and I just don't, want to push my luck on this virus that we can't see, we don't know, and so many people are so asymptomatic that doesn't help either. So I'm, if I have to pick one side, it would be no, but I'd probably be more in the middle. I understand people have a financial risk to reopening or not reopening, and I get that. I think the government can do a lot more, like Jay said. Instead of $1,200, that was supposed to last us for 10 weeks. And I just read Martha McSally from Arizona. There's a travel tax that she wanted to give every family, like $5,000. They could travel anywhere in the United States. Then they'd get money for each child, and for you to spend on the travel industry. And it's like, I think people would rather have their jobs or their livelihood protected than travel. Anyway, I could go on, but I'm done.
So it looks like so far we've got in the middle-ish, and no. For the sake of switch debate, I'm going to go with the yes.
I took that position just to give you something.
Arbitrary.
And that'll give us a three to a three.
Here's part of the problem is that are we asking the right question? So I completely understand where you guys are coming from, completely, and the opinion. I'm all about human expression, so please, if you feel a certain way, that's your truth. Put it out there. Stand behind it. Of course, we all like to think that we're open-minded, that type of thing. So in my world, the question is, can we go back even further? So right here, I would imagine that I'm the only one that says, on a scientific basis, I would disagree with the whole entire narrative. Yes, there's something going on, but what is it? So in this particular scenario here, I would be at odds. Like, if I wanted to debate something, like, well, I have to bring myself up to a different level, or slide sideways and just be participatory, right? And debate where I could. But again, let's say like it's political. You'd be possibly talking about Biden and Trump, where I'm going, what about the Rothschilds? Or, what about the elite banking system that's actually funding a lot of this? That's the parapolitics of it,
Yeah.
So I would be the odd man going, okay, where do I start this debate? Where do we want to take it from?
And then since you were so gracious to take that, I'll stay down here in the judges' chambers, and I'll say, you know what? It sounds like the majority, our consensus is we're in the middle of the road. We do have a no, we do have a yes, but we have two middle of the roads. And so for this debate, I'd say that it goes to the middle of the road. And so we would give points to Jay and the Nathaniel team, and they would then move on to the next round with that advantage. And so then that's what it's about, is just having the civil discourse, being able to bring people together who have different understandings and different beliefs. And yes, Jonathan, I know about the Rockefeller lockstep plan. 100%, you're right. This has been the plan for almost 60 years, and it's all about racial integrity and using that as a foothold to create a race war. That's the reality. I know people don't think that, but this has nothing to do with COVID anything. This does not have to do with the virus. This does not have to do with Black Lives Matter. You know why? Because the people that are in power don't care. They're too rich to get COVID, and they're too white to worry about Black lives. So in the reality of it, this debate has exposed a wide understanding of the topic. And that's what this show is really about. The show is really about bringing everyone in.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So now, are you taking that position to make it exciting, or do you honestly take that position?
I'm in the judges' chambers. So I'm just highlighting everybody's position. As far as like, if you really want to talk about it, yeah, I think that's true. Rockefeller put this plan in place a long time ago. I've seen the lockstep plan, and it is terrifying.
Yeah. So if you want, and the thing with fact checking,
Mhm.
there's a documentation. I actually have the PDF, and I keep it personally so that when this comes up, I can actually send it.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's not these are not my words. This was written down. Lockstep was a scenario, a think tank, and it actually spelled everything out that you're experiencing right now, and it did so back in, correct me, is it 2008?
I think that was when that particular document was leaked. I don't know. That's not when it was necessarily organized.
It's not leaked. You could actually go find it on the Rockefeller Foundation website.
Right, I'm saying they've been talking about this for a long time.
Send me that information. Send me that information on what you're looking at, because I would love to look at it. But I also want to say that I actually agree with both Karen and Jonathan in different side perspectives. Like, I see what Karen's coming from, and the fact that she's a beautiful older woman that and everything. And
oh, you're so sly.
Get it.
But I'm saying, but
just tell me your Venmo.
There we go.
But it made me raise the question first of, so what are we going to do for people like you that are thinking that way? And then I'm also thinking the Jonathan side where, I actually thought about this a long time ago, and the academic side of people are always like, no, Nate, don't think like that. But I was also thinking, what if this was put in? What if this was supposed to happen in some way? Like, what if this is made to happen for some political reason? Or I'm one of those people that.
No, and you're doing you use a really key word, and it's awesome. So I'm going to highlight it. What if? Everyone needs to ask that all the time. Question everything. Just say, what if my opponent? What if he happens to be right? What would a world look like if he were right? And just put yourself in that position real quick, and a lot of things can unfold.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Like, honestly, like, 'cause it came from Wuhan, China, and the narrative that messed up everything was that Trump made it into a racial thing.
Yeah.
And all these negative things that made people say, well, let's leave that alone for a minute. It's now all over the world. The people that are scientists that are studying this right now that I know, they told me it's related to the Spanish situation of the Spanish people. I don't know. I'm sure you know about that.
I've actually studied it, and I have an alternative explanation. That's okay.
Okay. And so when I took the test a while back ago, they told me that I'm actually not immune to COVID-19. They told me that, like, I guess my blood or something like that is like, what is it, asymptomatic?
Yeah, and just to be a technical snob right now, so SARS-CoV-2 is the actual alleged virus that causes the disease known as COVID-19.
Okay.
So that's the technical thing. And I know we're using shorthand, and when people talk to me about the situation, I just let it ride. But if we're going to be fact checkers,
Yeah.
it's a technicality that we need to establish. So SARS-CoV-2, the alleged virus that causes the alleged disease known as COVID-19.
No, you're absolutely right. And what I was saying with that is that there's a lot of people that are starting to be like, well, I've seen this on Facebook where they're saying, what's the survival of the fittest or whatnot. But we have people that legit, I don't want to see them as heirs just because they weren't able to fight this thing. So that's where I come right back into the policy situation. What are we going to do about it? And we're too focused on systemic. Well, we need to be focused. I'm glad we're focused on systemic racism as a black man. I'm just being honest with you. But I'm also concerned because we're busy now fighting amongst each other again, like we've been doing forever. That we're forgetting the huge thing in the background, which is COVID-19, that is still killing people, particularly income or older generation. About talking about when are we
So I think this is a really good meeting. I want to thank everybody for joining. With a show of hands, I hope, Jonathan, the way you were talking about fact checking and things, that's one of the reasons.
He's our guy, Jay, like 100%.
Yeah, because I want to get that fact checking team together and have some kind of consistency that's going to be, hold true for that forever. Because I want people to be able to go to that website and know that the information on there is scrutinized.
Yeah,
And
and this is a noble endeavor, and I'll take. Most people will say there's two sites that they go to for the facts, and that is Snopes
Yep.
and Reuters or Routers,
Routers,
however
yeah.
you want to pronounce it. We literally have a really good example. He's a personal friend of mine. He's now kind of a YouTube sensation. I built his website. I call him Andy. He's Andy Kaufman, but not the comedian. The comedian.
Right.
He is a doctor, Andrew Kaufman, MD. And Reuters said that he falsely claimed that a vaccine would genetically modify us. And he had to fact check the fact checking website. Now, Reuters has a long history as being owned by the Rothschilds.
Mm-hmm.
So that name has already been dropped, right?
Yeah.
So we know what they're up to. In addition to that, Snopes, if any of you know the name George Soros,
Nope.
he funds Snopes. Snopes also has its own, it's embroiled in controversy because the guy, and don't quote me on this, got to some trouble recently, some sort of assault thing. I don't know if it was sexual assault or just violent assault or whatever, but Snopes is great for this. I'll tell you what it's good for. You remember a meme passing around saying that Bill Murray had a breakdown in his car in Marina, of all places.
Yeah.
And someone helped him out, didn't recognize him, and treated him to a cup of coffee. And then, quote, if I were ever going to move anywhere, I'd move to Marina, California. So, passing this around all over the place. And you go, So you look it up on Snopes, and sure enough, not only is it Bill Murray that wants to live in Marina, it's Clint Eastwood, it's just one of these stupid memes that gets passed around and people believe it. So Snopes is great for debunking things like that. But when it comes to humanity and why we're here and what we're up to and the things that really matter to us, unfortunately, they are catering to another agenda. It's just
Okay.
unfortunate, but that's the facts. And so, what you need to do is what we call in a spiritual practice is exercise discernment.
Mm-hmm.
It's the detection of truth based on your experience and your openness to ask the question, what if? And that usually generally leads you in the right direction, especially if you're really energetic and deeply, honestly want to know the truth. So, for instance, let's take the argument. What if atheists are right? What if there is nothing? This is all just by chance. If that's the truth, then we should be led to it somehow and we should really feel it on the inside. And if that doesn't happen, then there's something wrong with the theory.
Right.
And we need to keep looking. But just for the sake of the argument, let's say it's true. I'd want to know that because it dictates to me how I live my life. So I have 30 years left, 40 years left. I think I'm going to start changing some things. Whereas if I have a belief system that says I'm going to heaven, well then that dictates to me what's important now and what I should focus on, right? So that's where I'm coming from. So a term that you should probably write down if you don't know what it is already is cognitive dissonance.
Mm-hmm.
Cognitive dissonance. In short, it's when you're holding two opposing ideas and only one of them can be true. And it causes this agitation and it is uncomfortable. I've been through it many times. It's not a good thing. And so, when people feel that way, they almost feel that they're going insane. And so they will avoid it. They'll smoke weed, they'll drink, and they'll forget about it if that ever came into their consciousness. The other term,
It's true.
yeah, the other term is gaslighting. Now, it comes from a movie, an old movie, right? And essentially, what it was is the main character was being duped. I forget exactly. I think it was the gas lights in the house, and she was led to believe that she was going crazy. That the whole entire thing was a setup. So that's where that term gaslighting is coming, and it's entering into the popular meme. Everyone wants to sling that around, like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm being gaslit here, or we're being gaslit. Well, you got to do due diligence to look in to see, well, who can profit from this.
That's really what this show is about, is like we are trying to give people a platform to have an understanding of how to be aware. And because honestly, it's just gotten to such a point that it looks like we got somebody checking out. I didn't see who that was on the chat. Was that? Thank you, Nathaniel. And we'll definitely.
Real quick before you go, Nathaniel, I wanted to ask one qualifying question. When you say human trafficking, what does that all encompass?
Sex, labor, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my department. Sex trafficking, human trafficking.
Okay, so now does that enter into does pedophilia enter into the picture in that whole thing?
Of course.
Okay. Because what I've come to learn is it's a shorthand. In other words, the condition of humanity right now, especially in the United States, if they were to divulge to what extent that takes place, there'd be a psychological meltdown on the populace. So, in order to mitigate that, they're using an all-encompassing term called human trafficking.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I wish I could jump into this more with you. Honestly, the biggest barrier with what I do is the law, right? So when you mention like pedophilia, that usually jumps into more the criminal justice side, and psychologists, counselors jump in and all that. But I wish I could jump into more with you, but I gotta get on this call
All right,
soon.
man.
And I
Sounds good, Dave.
Thank you.
information. Jay has all my information. Feel free to call me, reach out to me. I love having conversations. So
Sounds
Well,
good.
thank you for joining us. And if you have any feedback to give to me later, I'd appreciate it. But having the lawmaking concept that you might have or hold, that's key in my mind with you. Okay.
okay,
You know, to take the.
that sounds good. Jonathan Rogers, right there. That guy, cat, you want to keep an eye on because he's one of those guys that he challenges the status quo, and I like that.
Yeah.
Miss Karen there has a lot of wisdom as well that I look forward to listening to.
Beautiful.
Nice way of saying that.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
All right.
But yeah, this is exactly what we were hoping to do. Unbeknownst to you guys, I actually had been doing a private stream and a recording of this just as a test run. So once we get it done, then we'll give you guys a private link that you can check it out, because I feel like the conversation that we had on this was amazing. And I think there was very good information that was brought to light that maybe other people hadn't even heard of, as well as the ability for us to have a civil discourse, kind of regardless of how people feel. That's really what I feel like is missing in America. And honestly, that's what this show is to me, that's why I'm a part of it. And that's what it's going to be about, is that, you know, we have the option and opportunity to struggle and to be in conflict all the time. But how often do we have the option and opportunity to grow and learn? Very few. And so I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that weighed in today. And I think, you know, everybody that was on the show, you know, on the call today is definitely people that I want to have on the show. So, you know, I really appreciate it. And Jay, did you have anything else you wanted to cover?
Um, there, we've gone over a lot. You know, just to break it down, it's a simple show, game show, two teams, 3 rounds. First is a quick question and answer about basic topics. Second is a subjective argument, you know, between the two of a hot topic that they're going to pre-choose, and then they're going to also submit uh, their facts or their cited sources prior to the show. And that's where the fact checking team comes in, and they're going to double check that stuff. Um, and then in the third round, and we're going to get into more details. In the third round, that's when we're going to give it back to them and go, listen, you gave us these facts. I mean, we're going to give them, guidelines as to how to bring the sources to the table. But when it comes to game time, they're still going to bring their 10 sources. Whether their 10 sources are reliable or not reliable, that's where the fact checking team is going to come in. And then at the closing argument, then they have to readjust, their closing argument statement based on this new information that they just got from this newfound fact checking team that says that 3 out of the 7 things that they submitted aren't true, so you got to eliminate that from your final argument. And then we're gonna have a vote to see who wins the debate, or there's gonna be a definite winner or loser, or maybe they'll collaborate and they'll figure out a better way to move forward in life, so we can all,
Consensus.
find peace. And I think that's about it for right now. Do you guys have any final thoughts to share? Because I totally appreciate you guys' time, and I want to grow from this. There's more to it than what we've shared already. We want to have the general public being able to vote, meaning like in essence, like we want to get them to share their 2 cents into the situation. And as a running joke, I say because of inflation, it's going to be $2.02 to make your vote. And so that seems like a fair amount for people to throw in. So if we get 100 people, $3,000, right?
There
For 100 people, it's $200.
you go.
But if we, the more we do, the more, the more we can reach. Then we have something to help fund the show, and then to have a different sampling of voters. I wanted to have as a goal is to have 2 people from every state to be on a special vote, or like the electoral college vote or whatever, different the definition of what we think of the electoral college today, but just to have people can be able to vote, but have you a special vote, so we have the pulse of the people throughout the nation, so that vote is going to have a different amount. So we're going to talk about that. They might come with a different dollar amount to have that vote, or whatever. I don't know yet.
There's a lot of pieces of the concept that we're just now piecing together. And we really appreciate you guys coming in on the call. And the conversation was very stimulating for me personally. And I'm just grateful that we have the opportunity to have the great internet debate. And hopefully moving forward, we'll be able to ramp this up fairly quickly. And we'll be able to actually get a larger swath of the public involved, do a test run of the actual show, and be able to display it on the web format.
Well, just keep me in the loop. It's interesting so far. And
100%.
Thank you, Karen, for joining us. Thank you. We'll keep you in the loop.
Okay.
Jonathan?
Yeah, thank you
Thank
guys.
All right. There you go.
Jonathan, do you have anything final thing to say or anything? Or are you good?
No, it's an honorable endeavor. I really hope it comes to fruition for you, because that's I think what spurred this on was watching. There are now, because of Facebook, right? Largely because of Facebook, people are afraid to talk or speak up. Like, you know what? I'm just going to post pictures of puppies, and that's okay. That's fine. Me, I often stay quiet and I look for an opportunity. And if the opportunity is ripe and the conditions are prime, then I'll start sowing seeds. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? But I will never jump in and make a bold statement typically, because it goes nowhere. It just starts this frenzy in a fight. If we take our buddy Jeff Rothel, who might actually see this, so Jeff does, in person, very quiet, kind of keeps his head down, doesn't say a whole lot. You get him on Facebook, it's like, unleash the hounds.
Is he talking about Jeff from yesterday?
In fact, he got banned, right? right? Facebook said naughty boy and banned him. So it's this idea that for some reason certain types have freeness of expression on Facebook that just can't do it in social circles as effectively.
Right.
So this could be their voice. You know, the Jeff Ruffles of the world can actually come on and have some serious expression. So.
And it's funny that you say that this could be their voice, because sometimes when I see them type their voice down on these posts, it makes me go, that guy needs to be on the show next. You know what I mean? Like, we need that guy on the show to position that point. And we will definitely keep growing with this. It's not going to be built overnight, but we're working on it. So we've done a lot in a couple days. We've had 2 meetings. Just to let you know, I talked to Josh about a week ago. I said, hey, Josh, I'm thinking about doing this. I challenged myself to do it, and now I'm calling you. And then he challenged me and said, okay. He goes, okay, 10 days. Get something done within 10 days, blah, blah, blah. And I said, fine. My challenge was I was going to get a Zoom account and look into doing the Zoom thing. I didn't do that. He's got the Zoom account, and we did the Zoom thing. So it was a workaround, but we still got it done.
But I bought it in your name, Jay. I bought it in your name, so.
I appreciate that. So I accomplished the goal in essence. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate your support, and one day at a time.